Another thing I want to talk about is the team structure. At the end of the day, we're not shipping features. We're actually shipping what we're going to maintain. Going back to that custom internal framework that we have an internal gateway, at the time it was good because there was no better framework. There was no good gateways out there, but we couldn't maintain. Nobody could maintain. And furthermore, when the tech lead left, because I personally am not productive in TypeScript, I didn't come from the web development world, I could go in there, I just wasn't productive. And except I have to maintain the AI system, and we have to go further on the workflow on making it more sophisticated. So they have to come to Python world. We didn't think too thoroughly on that initially. It's good to take some time to always think about what you're going to maintain, because that means you got to identify who is going to maintain that. The who is very important because they have their preferences. And you probably even want to go a little bit of psychoanalysis here. Some people love maintaining, some people hate maintaining or learning new things, right? They have their preferences. There's a level of easy and simple. So easy and simple are not the same thing in development experience. Easy is something that you already know, you already are familiar with. It doesn't mean it's simple. It doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's better quality. It just means that you're familiar with it, you can do it. They're not necessarily the same thing. We want to identify who. For that reason, we want to identify who to see what makes sense for the product. And sometimes you also want to see which components in this whole system, in the whole product, require the most changes. From our sense, it's the workflow. So we should have understand that workflow is the one that changes the most. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it means that we shouldn't put everything into TypeScript. If everything that's changing, like you only have a shallow system on the language models, but you want to go deep on how the application actually works, maybe tightly coupling actually work better for you. And throughout these, you want to keep on thinking carefully about the end-to-end feedback loop. It's not just about products, but it's about how long is it going to take the scientists or ML people to change, and then how long does that translate to the application, and then how long does that change to the product, how long does the product feedback get that feedback loop, not just the architecture side, but your architecture actually affects how that transition go, how soon that is. And if the architecture themselves, like the frameworks, the tooling you choose yourself, are not really suiting for each other, then that feedback loop gets longer. But sometimes if you choose the ones that have good integration with each other, if the people who are maintaining them are not familiar with that type of patterns, you actually still will slow things down.